He was like, who reached out to you? I'm like, well, I left a note on the door saying, you know, I'll clean their place up for free. And he's like, did the owner reach back out to you? I'm like, I think so. Got permission to do it. I could show you the text. They're really on me. I don't think anyone called me in or anything. That would be kind of weird. Today we are on one of the worst properties in this entire neighborhood, and we got a big problem. It is super dry. It is super overgrown. Last month I was driving by and I noticed this green overgrown property, so I left a note, and the owner sends me a message a month later and is like, hey, I would love for you to come by and do your magic. I told them about the YouTube channel, how I'd offer them a free lawn makeover. So they're like, come on down, do your magic on this property. We would really truly appreciate it. They're just a month late. A month late. We could have mowed some nice green grass, but now we got to deal with so much dryness. We're going to be masked up. This thing's going to be a dusty mess. As we've traveled to the back, there's again more items. There's a turkey family. I don't want to spook all the babies, but there they are. Yeah, stay over there. They were in the middle of the yard prior, and I'm like, no, you guys got to go over there. And then moving on to kind of a gated yard. This is kind of where it gets disgusting. It's got a awful smell back here, and I think I know why. Still needs a mow, still needs a cleanup, random wheelchair. And then last but not least, we're gonna clean up the street side and trim all of the weeds in the beds. The only problem is there's bark in there. That's the worst thing ever. When there's bark and weeds, they can't really blow because then you'll be blowing all the bark out of the bed. So you have to trim the weeds and then lightly kind of rake it out, lightly blow it out, and do your best. So it is 7:30 a.m. I decided to start work early because it is gonna be like 95 and burning today. Hopefully I finished up early. Just finished up talking to a police officer. Pulls up and he's like, hey, are you gonna clean this place up? I was flying my drone too. I think I might have got him on video or something. Hold on, let me land this thing real quick. He was like, did the owner? Who reached out to you? I'm like, well, I left a note on the door saying, you know, I'll clean their place up for free. And he's like, did the owner reach back out to you? I'm like, I think so. I got permission to do it. I could show you the text. I don't think anyone called me in or anything. That would be kind of weird, but maybe there's been some activity in this house. He did ask me, he's like, is there anybody living inside? I'm like, not to my knowledge. When I had peeked through the windows, it looked gutted. Maybe an elderly couple lived in there because I did see a wheelchair and a few other things that kind of gave it away. Maybe they're gonna put the house on the market or do something with it. Maybe whatever they do, I hope this lawn cleanup helps them out. They're really on me. I don't know why. They think I'm lying. I don't know. And now the officer's talking to the neighbor. This one's heavy. The old Sears Craftsman. Craft. What does that say? Great States? Never mind. I thought it said Craftsman. Great States. Let me know if you still use one of these reel mowers. Is this a weed or a flower? Kind of looks like a flower. I'm gonna look this up real quick and, well, no need, I guess. Still have to cut it because it's on the outside of the garden bed. What? Yeah. Phil's lawn care on YouTube. Good. Hey, your driver's side reverse lights up. Yep. It's so hot. It's like, what time is it? 11:18. And it's like 85 something degrees. So hot. I'm taking a break right now because one, my phone is overheating, and two, I'm overheating. So take a break. I got plenty of water with me and a snack. And so far, it's looking a lot better. Alright, so I did a little bit of mowing off camera. What I usually do, that is mowing a circle down grass right here into the scoop it all up, make sure the scratch man till it's full, throw it on here, and do that probably, I want to say 3 or 4 times, and discard it into the bed of the truck. This is cool. Just finished up. I did what I could with the time allocated. I still need to go to the dump to dispose of all the clippings. Sorry about the wind. It actually feels really nice. Oh man. So I came here at 7:30. It is now 1:30, so that means, let me count. I'm not the best at math. 8, 9, 10, 11. Nice 6.5 hour job. Still got to go to the dump. But oh man, it sure looks a lot better. Got the backyard, side yards cleaned up, the driveway near the house cleaned up, some of the trees removed. Excuse me. Vineyard all cleaned up over there, and then we cleaned up underneath the tree. Oh man, it's a night and day difference for sure. Took a toll on my body, especially with the heat. It's gonna get up to 96 today. I think it's 91 right now. I'm all done. I'm out of here. I'm gonna go to the dump, dispose of all the yard debris that I could collect and haul away. Oh, I've never seen my arms this dark. Look at that. I'm curious. Let me take off this glove. Oh, yeah. Look at that. I'm glad I wore a mask during the majority of this cleanup. I did receive that one, the air purified one, but that thing is just too hard to take off and put on. I like these ones because you can take them off if you need to, kind of bring them down underneath your chin, so that way you could breathe, because it does get hot in this, and also it does get hot in that full mask system because it's not air cooled. That's what I want to invent, is a air cooled air filter system where you're actually breathing in cool filtered air. That would be amazing during these hot makeovers, but I don't know, maybe I'll invent it, maybe someone else will, maybe it already exists, but that's something I want to look into. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. If you did, smash the like button, comment down below, let me know of your favorite part, and I guess I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care, God bless you, we'll see you in the next one, and enjoy these before and after pictures.